pretty public rift between our side of the family and him right after Tracy passed. We understood from Tracy herself that she didn't want a funeral, and she wanted to stay private for that part of her passing, but Tracy's husband decided to have a funeral anyway.
I want to clear this up, that I did honor what she wanted, and we did have conversations outside of other entities and other things. I want people to understand that I did honor her.
Kevin Surratt, the husband of the late Traci Braxton, recently took to Instagram to share his thoughts on a number of personal matters, including his relationship with his son, his marriage to Tracy, and some of the misconceptions people may have about his family and their experiences. His post comes shortly after the premiere of The Braxtons on WTV, a new show focusing on the Braxton family's journey. With Tracy's passing still fresh in fans' minds, Kevin felt the need to address the ongoing discussions surrounding his late wife, their marriage, and their family dynamics. Read on to hear what he said. Kevin Surratt, the husband of the late Traci Braxton, recently took to Instagram to share his thoughts on a variety of personal matters, including his relationship with his son, his marriage to Tracy, and some of the misconceptions people may have about his family and their experiences. His post comes on the heels of the premiere of The Braxtons on WTV, a new show focused on the Braxton family's journey. With Tracy's passing still fresh in the minds of fans, Kevin felt compelled to address the ongoing discussions surrounding his late wife, their marriage, and the dynamics within their family. Traci Braxton and Kevin Surratt were married for many years, a relationship that began long before Tracy gained wider recognition in the music world. Their marriage was filled with ups and downs, like many long-term relationships, but one thing that was clear to both their family and the public was the deep bond they shared. They had one child together, their son Kevin Surratt Jr., and through their years together, it was evident that the couple had a strong connection, with Kevin often described as being Tracy's best friend. Kevin's Instagram post aimed to set the record straight on a few key matters, the most prominent of which was his relationship with Tracy before she passed away. Many fans and observers have speculated about their dynamic in her final years, wondering whether Kevin was as supportive as he appeared to be in the public eye. Tracy, who battled esophageal cancer, kept much of her struggle private until the end. Kevin, however, was by her side throughout the ordeal, providing support and care during her most difficult moments. In his message, Kevin expressed his deep love for Tracy and the sorrow he continues to feel after losing her. He spoke about the challenges they faced as a couple and how they worked through their issues, emphasizing that no marriage is perfect, but theirs was filled with love and loyalty. Tracy's death left a profound void in his life, and he has been navigating the complexities of grief and the public's perception since her passing. One of the areas Kevin sought to clarify was his relationship with their son, Kevin Jr. In the wake of Tracy's death, there were rumors of tension between father and son, with some speculating that they had fallen out over personal matters. Kevin's post, however, highlighted the love he has for his son and his commitment to maintaining a strong bond with him. He acknowledged that, like all families, they have had their disagreements, but he made it clear that his relationship with Kevin Jr. remains important to him. He expressed hope that they could continue to heal and grow as a family despite the challenges they've faced. In addition to addressing his family relationships, Kevin also touched on Tracy's career in the music industry. Traci Braxton, who was perhaps best known as a member of the Braxton family musical dynasty, had long aspired to make a name for herself in music. She gained prominence as a singer and reality television star alongside her sisters on Braxton Family Values, but she often struggled to step out of the shadow of her more famous sister, Toni Braxton. According to Kevin, Tracy's passion for music was one of the things that defined her, and he always did his best to support her dreams. However, some have suggested that Kevin may have encouraged Tracy to stay in the music industry longer than she should have, rather than guiding her toward other paths. In his Instagram post, Kevin addressed these concerns, admitting that he may have pushed her to keep pursuing music because he believed in her talent and potential. He acknowledged that it wasn't always easy for Tracy, but he wanted her to know that he had faith in her abilities and didn't want her to give up on something she loved. Traci Braxton's battle with esophageal cancer marked the final chapter of a life filled with both triumphs and trials, but her journey was far from an easy one. Tracy's story is that of perseverance, not only in the face of illness but also in the numerous challenges she encountered throughout her career, marriage, and relationships with her sisters. The world knew her as one of the Braxton sisters, singers who brought their talents and personal stories to millions of viewers through reality TV and music. But behind the scenes, Tracy was much more than just another face in a famous family. She was a woman who dealt with record disputes, personal struggles, and constant pressure to measure up in an industry that can be unkind to even the most talented. Despite all the obstacles, Tracy had one unwavering source of support: her husband, Kevin Surratt. Whether you loved or disliked Kevin, there is no denying that he played a significant role in Tracy's life. From the outside, their relationship may have looked complicated at times, but Kevin was her rock, her confidant, and her partner in every sense of the word. Throughout Tracy's career and personal struggles, Kevin stood by her side, offering a constant source of strength and support when it seemed like the world was against her. However, their marriage was not without its challenges. The pressures of the entertainment world, combined with personal struggles, could have easily driven them apart. However, through it all, Kevin remained steadfast in his commitment to Tracy. He listened to her vent about her frustrations with her career and the tension that sometimes arose between her and her sisters. The Braxton family's dynamics were often on display for the world to see, but behind the scenes, it was Kevin who helped Tracy navigate those complex relationships. He was her sounding board, the person she could confide in when the weight of her family's expectations became too much to bear. Kevin was also there during Tracy's darkest times, providing solace when she needed it most. As her health began to decline due to her battle with esophageal cancer, Kevin's role as her caregiver became even more pronounced. Tracy's cancer diagnosis came as a shock to many, but Kevin remained by her side, helping her find peace and comfort during her final months. While Tracy kept much of her illness private, Kevin was her constant companion, supporting her both emotionally and physically as she faced the most challenging battle of her life. Kevin Surratt recently opened up in a heartfelt message, shedding light on his experiences during his wife Traci Braxton's battle with esophageal cancer, his relationship with their son, and the vital support system that surrounded them. In his statement, Kevin emphasized one key point he wanted everyone to understand: "Till death did us part." His message was clear and poignant, reflecting the depth of his commitment to Tracy and his determination to stand by her side until her final moments. His words seemed to address some of the narratives that have emerged in the media or within the public sphere, where the complexities of their relationship may have been misunderstood or misrepresented. For Kevin, this was an essential truth. They had stayed together through everything, and he wanted to make sure that no one could diminish the significance of that bond. Kevin began his reflections by stressing the importance of this vow: "Till death did us part." These words held deep meaning for him, especially considering the trials they faced during Tracy's illness. As he explained, some narratives might leave out this crucial element of their relationship, but for Kevin, it was central to everything. The commitment he and Tracy shared, especially in her final years, was something he held on to tightly, and he wanted people to recognize how dedicated he was to her during one of the most difficult periods of their lives. Beyond his relationship with Tracy, Kevin also touched on his role as a father to their son, Kevin Jr. He explained how he has been doing everything in his power to make sure his son is good in the aftermath of Tracy's passing. This has been no small task, as navigating grief while ensuring the well-being of a child is incredibly challenging. Kevin spoke of the village that has always been there for him and his son, a network of people who came together to support them through thick and thin. This village embraced Kevin and Kevin Jr., offering help on multiple levels, from emotional support to practical assistance. In moments of overwhelming loss and pain, it was this village that provided the strength they needed to keep going. Kevin's description of the village underscores the importance of community in times of crisis. While he was Tracy's primary caregiver and confidant, he acknowledges that he didn't face these challenges alone. Their extended network, whether it was family, friends, or medical professionals, played a critical role in helping them cope. Kevin's gratitude for this community was evident in his words, as he recognized the difference their presence made in their lives, especially during Tracy's illness. Kevin then took a somber turn as he recounted the day they found out about Tracy's cancer diagnosis. On December 15, 2020, while at Georgetown Hospital, their lives changed forever. It was then that they learned Tracy had esophageal cancer, a diagnosis that would set them on a harrowing journey together. Kevin revealed that they had already been dealing with some personal challenges prior to receiving this devastating news. At the time, they were in California, and Tracy had been complaining about difficulty swallowing. Kevin immediately acted, calling their doctor when Tracy shared her concerns. His swift response was indicative of his role throughout their marriage. He was always there for her, ready to step in when she needed him most. Kevin began by describing the early days of Tracy's illness after they returned from California. Upon their arrival back home, Tracy was immediately admitted to the hospital. "They took care of us," Kevin recalled, referring to the medical team at Fort Washington Hospital. While Tracy underwent a procedure, Kevin waited outside, helpless but present, sitting in his car in the pouring rain. Due to strict hospital regulations during the COVID-19 pandemic, not everyone could accompany patients inside, which left Kevin alone with his thoughts as he waited for word on his wife's condition. This moment stands out in Kevin's mind as a deeply symbolic one. Standing outside in the rain, powerless yet fully committed to being there for Tracy, even when he couldn't physically be by her side. It was a test of patience and resilience, one that would become all too familiar over the months to come. Kevin shared how he waited in the rain alongside Traci Braxton, Tracy's famous older sister, for nearly an hour as the medical team worked on Tracy. It was a moment of unity in the face of fear, with both Kevin and Tony waiting anxiously, their roles as husband and sister blending in their shared love and concern for Tracy. Finally, the doctor called Kevin, and he was able to pull up to the front entrance of the hospital and go inside to receive news about his wife. The uncertainty of those moments, waiting for a call, not knowing what the outcome would be, was a recurring theme in Kevin's narrative. He described how these experiences pushed him to lean even more on his faith and the support system he had around him. The next step in Tracy's medical journey took them to Georgetown Hospital, where her treatment continued. Kevin recounted how Tracy, initially overwhelmed by the diagnosis, didn't want to reach out to anyone. She didn't want to call her family to let them know what was happening, perhaps because she didn't want to burden them or bring them into the pain she was feeling. But Kevin knew better. He understood how important it was for Tracy to have the support of her loved ones, even if she didn't want to ask for it. "I made the calls," Kevin said, explaining how he took on the responsibility of informing Tracy's family. He knew she needed them, even if she wasn't ready to admit it. That was how their journey with cancer began in December 2020, a time that would be marked by emotional upheaval and difficult decisions, but also by the strength of family and love. Kevin also shared a vivid memory from a particularly unforgettable day in American history, the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. For Kevin, that day holds an additional layer of significance. While the rest of the country was fixated on the chaos unfolding in Washington, D.C., Kevin was focused on something far more personal, picking up his mother-in-law, Evelyn Braxton, from the airport. "I'll never forget," he said. "I was picking my mother-in-law up from the airport on the day they attacked the Capitol. Evelyn was coming into town to help support the family during this incredibly challenging time, and Kevin was grateful for her presence." Her arrival marked the beginning of a new wave of support for Tracy, who needed all the love and encouragement she could get as she faced the most difficult battle of her life. Kevin's recollection of that day speaks to how, even in the midst of national turmoil, personal trials can overshadow everything else. While the world was reeling from the events at the Capitol, Kevin's focus remained solely on his wife and their family. Throughout his reflections, Kevin continuously expressed his deep gratitude for the support system that surrounded them. He recognized how essential it was to have a village of people who could step in and help during such a trying time. "I just thank God I had the level of support I did," he said, emphasizing that this network of family, friends, and medical professionals made a significant difference. Without them, Kevin acknowledged, he may not have had the strength to persevere through the difficulties of Tracy's illness. "You never know until you know," Kevin said, reflecting on how no one can fully grasp the magnitude of such a challenge until they are faced with it. He wanted others to understand that sometimes, even with the best support, it takes everything within a person to keep moving forward. Kevin's final thoughts were particularly moving. He spoke about how, despite the pain of watching his wife suffer, he believed that Tracy ultimately received the healing she needed, though not in the way many might have expected. "I feel like my wife got the healing she needed to go through what she went through," he explained, indicating that while Tracy's body succumbed to cancer, her soul and spirit found peace. For Kevin, this understanding brought a sense of closure and acceptance. "The sacrifice that came with that is everything," he added, acknowledging the cost of that journey, but also the sense of grace that accompanied it. His words reflect both his grief and his faith, as he continues to process the loss of his wife and the deep love that sustained them both throughout her battle with cancer. Kevin Surratt also took the opportunity to clarify some misconceptions surrounding his living situation and the community he has built around him since the passing of his beloved wife, Traci Braxton. With the weight of public scrutiny and rumor swirling around him, he addressed a rumor that he had lived in Baltimore. "Just to clear things up," he stated firmly, "I've never lived in Baltimore. Baby girl, I've always lived in the DMV DC area." This was more than just a geographic clarification. It was a reaffirmation of his roots and the strong connections he had fostered over the years in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia region. Kevin expressed immense gratitude for the layers of support he has received from his extended family and friends during the tumultuous period of Tracy's illness and subsequent passing. "I thank God we had so many levels of family," he reflected. His circle extended beyond his immediate family to include his Masonic family, Motorcycle Club MC family, and a broad social network. This community was instrumental in providing emotional and practical support during a time when Kevin needed it most. He spoke warmly about how these people would regularly check in on him and Tracy, asking if they were doing well. "So many people were there, always picking up the phone, asking if we were good on a regular level," he recalled. This consistent outreach and sense of community played a vital role in helping him navigate the challenges he faced. Kevin's expression of gratitude extended to the fact that he still had that support system around him, which has become increasingly important as he strives to be a strong father to his son, Kevin Jr. "I've got to be strong for my son who's going through so much," he stated, highlighting the weight of his responsibilities as a parent in the aftermath of such a profound loss. The emotional landscape of raising a child while grieving is complex, and Kevin made it clear that the love and support from his community would be key to helping him and his son cope. Moreover, Kevin emphasized the significance of family values and the importance of cultivating a support network, or village. He passionately stated, "Family values are real, you know? Always build a village around you because you never know." This sentiment reflects not just personal experience, but a broader understanding of the human condition. We all encounter challenges, and having a strong network can make all the difference. His call to pour into people underlines the reciprocal nature of relationships. Support is a two-way street, and nurturing connections can lead to a stronger, more resilient community. As he delved deeper into the subject, Kevin highlighted an issue that he feels is often overlooked: mental health. Mental health is real, and sometimes we, as a people, don't address it, he lamented. This acknowledgement speaks to a crucial point in many communities where mental health struggles are often stigmatized or ignored. For Kevin, recognizing the importance of mental health became a vital part of his journey, especially following the emotional toll of losing Tracy. To further advocate for mental wellness, Kevin announced the launch of his podcast, A Session with Surette. He explained that one of the primary focuses of the podcast would be on mental health issues, creating a space for open dialogue and sharing experiences. Through this platform, he hopes to reach others who may be struggling and remind them that they are not alone in their battles. By sharing his own story and those of his guests, Kevin aims to break down the barriers surrounding mental health discussions and encourage people to seek help when they need it. Kevin Surratt opened up about the depths of his grief following the death of his beloved wife, Traci Braxton, revealing the profound emotional toll it has taken on his life. With palpable sincerity, he shared, "There have been days when I haven't been able to get out of bed, and that's real talk." These words encapsulate the raw pain he experiences, a sentiment that many can relate to when faced with the loss of a loved one. Kevin's struggle reflects not only his personal journey through grief, but also sheds light on the broader challenges many face when navigating life after such a significant loss. In the aftermath of Tracy's passing, Kevin described a moment of stark realization. "When my baby passed, I was like, wow, this is real." This moment signifies the shift from disbelief to the harsh acceptance of reality, a crucial yet painful transition in the grieving process. The weight of this loss prompted him to take the difficult step of moving out of their shared home, a space that was filled with memories of their life together. He articulated this pivotal change as a necessary action to reboot my life, indicating his desire to find a way forward, despite the pain that accompanied such a significant transition. Despite the overwhelming sorrow, Kevin expressed deep gratitude for the support system that emerged during this challenging time. "I thank God for the people who embraced me as a man who knew us," he remarked, emphasizing the importance of community and connection. These supportive figures served as a lifeline, offering him the strength and encouragement he needed to keep moving forward. It is a testament to the power of human connection, especially during moments of profound grief. This lifeline not only helped him cope, but also reinforced the importance of having a network of loved ones who understand the nuances of his experience. Kevin's ongoing mourning for Tracy is evident in his reflections. He remains deeply connected to the love they shared, and it's clear that the absence of his wife has left a significant void in his life. He navigates his grief with a sense of respect for Tracy and her family, consciously choosing not to speak negatively about her sisters or his mother-in-law. Instead, he indicated that they maintained their own tribe, a circle of confidants who provided support and understanding during this challenging journey. This distinction suggests that while family ties are crucial, sometimes people find solace in friends or extended family who truly understand their individual struggles. Kevin's concerns for their son, Kevin Jr., are also paramount. He openly acknowledged the myriad challenges his son faces. He's going through a lot: losing his mom, going through a divorce, getting arrested, and being a father. This powerful statement underscores the multifaceted struggles of a young person grappling with loss and adversity. Kevin Jr. is navigating the complexities of growing up without his mother, while also dealing with personal challenges that many young adults face. Kevin expressed a heartfelt desire for his son to receive the love and support he needs during this tumultuous time. Thankfully, he has his father, aunties, uncles, and grandparents to guide him, he noted, highlighting the extended family network that remains steadfast in supporting Kevin Jr. Through his reflections, Kevin expressed a sense of hope, emphasizing the importance of prayers for their family. "I pray Kevin Jr. makes it out of this with a clear head and peaceful spirit," he said, illustrating his wish for his son's healing and growth. This hope extends beyond Kevin Jr. to himself as well, as he acknowledges the enormity of his own loss. The relationship he shared with Tracy was not just romantic. She was his soulmate, best friend, and partner for over 30 years. When you're with someone for that long and they're just gone, it's a lot to adjust to for anyone, Kevin remarked, encapsulating the deep bond they shared and the profound impact of her absence on his life. What do you think about Kevin Surratt's recent comments? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.